This is the scariest thing ever found frozen in ice. Welcome back, Charlie here. From dangerous animals frozen solid in lakes, to frozen cavemen, these are the most mysterious things ever found frozen in ice. First, we have to look at this mysterious circle. In 2013, Jason Nilsson and his friend went for a walk in Utah. That's when they came across a frozen lake. The lake seemed normal at first, until Jason spotted a bizarre circle. There seemed to be many of these strange holes in the ice, enough to trigger anyone with trypophobia. The tiny holes make this look like some kind of unsettling alien nest. The circle in the center also makes it seem like one gigantic eye. When Jason took a closer look, he found many white blobs that had melted into the ice, which kind of looked like alien eggs. Jason posted the video online, and so far it has millions of views. For a long time, no one had any idea what this was. That was until this girl came forward and said she was responsible. She had created the geometric design for an art project. But what were those white blobs? According to the creator, Claire Lewis, they're made of flour and salt. She said she made over 1,000 of these for the project, before leaving them on the icy lake. So while this may not be made by aliens, it still looks incredibly creepy and cursed. Moving on, we have to look at this frozen fox. In 2014, a man was skating on Lake Bunn in Sweden, but that's when he came across the most unlucky fox in the world. This furry creature unfortunately met his fate in the lake, but people were confused as to why the fox was in the lake in the first place. Foxes can swim. It's most likely that the fox tried to swim the entire lake. In the middle, it started to get frozen, and unfortunately did not make it out of the lake before getting stuck. Eventually, the frozen fox was cut out of the lake, and then placed on the lake, I guess as a warning for any people or foxes not to walk on the lake. Now I have to show you this mysterious ice sheet. This strange discovery was caught in the Arctic, and had experts and scientists baffled. This iceberg is massive, symmetrical, and perfectly rectangular. It looks like it's been cut with a precise tool, but this must have been done naturally. Some said extraterrestrials may have done this, while others said it looks like a base to a structure which is no longer standing. NASA was actually the one to discover this, which led to many theories and speculations. Because the Arctic is so hard to get to, very little is known about what this iceberg is. If some government agency is behind it, we likely won't know the truth for decades to come. What do you think? Is this simply a rare natural phenomena, or is there something they don't want us to know? Next, we have to look at this alien found frozen in ice. This video reportedly comes from Siberia, Russia. Two men are walking in a snowy forest. That's when they pan over to a humanoid creature in the snow. The small creature does not look like any animal on this planet. Whatever this is really does look alien-like. The two men speak in Russian and can't believe what they're seeing. They sound genuinely concerned and confused over what they've found. Siberia is a vast, snowy wasteland, and most of it is uninhabited by humans. So who knows how long this creature could have been out here. Moving on, let's look at this woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth went extinct around 5,000 years ago, but in 2010 a frozen woolly mammoth was found in Russia. Researchers did various tests, and found that the woolly mammoth was only a child, around 6 to 9 years old. It's believed it passed away after falling from a cliff, but thankfully landed in ice, meaning that it was perfectly preserved. Amazingly, its brain is still intact, and to make things even crazier, scientists are now bringing this back to life. They have raised $15 million to replicate woolly mammoth DNA. They will then use elephants and create a woolly mammoth-elephant hybrid, bringing this once extinct species back to life. The first elephant-woolly mammoth hybrid is expected within 5 years. So this discovery really did change the world. Moving on, we have to look at this snake frozen in ice. Just imagine you're ice skating when, all of a sudden, you're bitten by a snake. It sounds like something that could never happen, but in 2015 this snake was seen frozen in a lake in Maryland, USA. The snake was stuck in the ice but manages to slither out. It then slowly moves towards the camera. Snakes do have cold blood, but they can't normally survive in cold temperatures. The snake was likely hibernating and somehow got disturbed. I can't identify which species of snake this is, but it's probably best not to mess with any snake that size. Moving on, we have to look at these frozen alligators. One day there was a massive snowstorm in Colorado. This froze various alligators in a lake, but these brave men decided to save these gators' lives. After a few minutes of searching, they find a frozen alligator under the ice and bravely pull it out. Alligators are able to survive brief periods of freezing weather. They do this by lowering their metabolic rates, but they can only do this for some time. Because they're cold-blooded, they can't survive in cold temperatures for long. But thankfully, these brave men were able to save these alligators' lives. Moving on, I have to show you the Bloody Falls. Antarctica is a very mysterious place. One of the most mysterious things in Antarctica is the Bloody Falls. It's a waterfall that looks like it's made of blood. But don't worry, thankfully it's not. The red color actually comes from iron in the water, which is the same element that gives Mars its red color. The Bloody Falls can be found in Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys. For decades, scientists had no idea where the iron was coming from, but eventually underground imaging revealed a complex network of subglacial rivers, and a lake filled with brine which is high in iron. This also explains why the Bloody Falls never freeze. Now let's look at these frozen fish. These fish look like they're frozen in time. These were found in 2015 in South Dakota by a woman named Kelly Preheim. The fish were frozen in a 4-foot wall of ice. It may look like the fish were frozen as they were leaping out of the water, but that's not the case. The actual reason is down to clouded ice on the lake's surface. This ice gets so thick it blocks out the sun. This means plants in the water can't photosynthesize, meaning that there's no oxygen in the lake for the fish to live. When the fish pass away, they float to the top of the lake, causing them to be frozen on the top of the lake. Now we have to look at this frozen caveman. One day in Minneapolis, USA, people found a 6-foot-tall frozen man. It seemed to be a caveman frozen in a block of ice. It was very hairy, shaggy, and even carrying a club. Many stunned people came to check this out, but it was later revealed to be a work of art, created by a man named Zach Schumark. He made this caveman and named it Zug Zug. Finally, we have to look at these mysterious statues. One day in Siberia, someone found these bizarre statues in the snow. He had no idea what these were or where they came from. It definitely wasn't an art installation, as no one lives in the area. There were also no towns or buildings for miles around. And to make matters even more strange, vehicles can't travel to the area. There are no roads and conditions are way too snowy. To this day, the Siberian statues remain unexplained. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment down below which of these discoveries was the most mysterious. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.